We are on Taf Kuf Samach Aleph, and we are discussing the concept of Sampira Ba'advoy. We got down here to number Daled. We had number Daled, number Hey. So try to put this together. He says number Daled says, here we go. Here's number Daled. Bir Naisif, Ray the Ale. So he says, go back and look at this idea. It was in the previous Os. He says, Abishem Agos Derech Emes. Begil in the Zohar. So this is what he said. Behind Hatipa Bekishre Sampira Behebel Nachalaso. Now we had this phrase before, which I don't remember, where it says Behebel Nachalaso. What that actually, what's the secret behind that? So he says it has to do with the tipa that is Bekishre Sampirov in the place, I guess, of the bundling together or the intertwining of this son pair, Bechevel Nachalaso, and how is it bound? I guess with the rope of his inheritance, whatever that means. Ad Khan B'Nisbar La'el Sham Ba'orech. Up above, apparently we talked about this in some depth, but I don't have the answer right now. So he's a Ray La'el. So you look up above Ba'os Kodem. Bir Nosif B'Shem Yafashah. He says like this: B'Zecho Shamayim B'Cho B'Kan Akkad. So he says, Mizgoaz there anpen the klipa the Vatzilus. So he became boastful or prideful. Is there anpen of the klipa of Vatzilus? So we're talking about the vav of Vatzilus, of the klipa of Vatzilus. Barosa the cloak bekitroy, and he wants to gather up. I always think this means like in his trap or in his web. Shuhu Eric Anpin Shalom, which is Eric Anpin. Now this is a theme that we've kind of seen a little bit. So he says that there is an Eric Anpin of the other side as well. But what he wants to do, and this is also not explained, but he did mention it before. Shuhu Eric Anpin Shalom, that's the Eric Anpin of Klipa. The Lahamshek Mishon, but between Sa'aros and Niklas Pira. So this is a different definition for the word Sampir. So Sampira over here, Misham Bechina Sa'aros, so he wants to take the shefa, whatever shefa would be, and be able to raise it up and produce hairs. Now that needs explanation. I can only think that the hairs would reach downwards, and then you would have a succeeding buildup of shlavim of the side of the klipa going downwards. But I don't know. So he says, Ba'ad Sampira Ba'ad Boy, Hem Nachalasa, which is once again the word Nachal. So the Sampira, he says, are the hairs that are going to be coming out, and he wants that to be in part of his territory, his control. With his Bayer Le'erishan Ba'arech, so later on they're going to have some of this in some detail. Let's go on to the next one. Different ideas. The Mahalchim seem to be so different. Let's go over here and see number above. He says, Ray Bezoar Chai. So look over the Zohar Chai kind. Shabir the Fidarko the Ale. So he explains, according to what he's been saying previously, the Kultra Bekitroid. Now we have like different spellings sometimes, but let's say Kultra Bekitroid, Ugu Golta, Shuhu Rosh Rishon, the Tlas Rishon, the Eric Anpin Kanadi. So the Kultra, the Kitroy now is, we've had different answers about what it could be. It always seemed to me like it was a net. So here he says this is referring to the skull, which is the highest of the Tlas Rishon, the Eric Anpin Kanadi. So what else? Ba'ata Yadvar Kisan Pira Ba'ad Boy, that phrase, that's referring to the third brain, Moach, of Eric Anpin, who Rosh Shlishi, Eric Anpin, of the Chemshech Yuvar Shnei Roshim Elu, these two, Hem Shnei Rosh Hatanini. Now, let's just, since he popped that one in there, we have contradictory ideas about the Tanini. One is that they agree, I think I'll agree, it's male and female. So it comes both ways. But sometimes the Tanin is bad and sometimes it's good according to his explanation. So he said, "V'hemshech yibar shnei roshim elu ein shnei roshet deninin." So these two heads, that is, more the moach stimor and the gulgalta, they represent the head of the snakes. Zel l'shoda sampira sampir hu gematria tof. We saw this idea before. It's a gematria of 400. So Arba Yudin, which is the secret of four Yuds, Shal Shem Av. Now, how you get that? So 400 is, I guess you multiply them, you get to 400. Now, what's the secret of the Yud? The Yud is really the Chochmah of I guess it's the root of the Chochmah that's in the name Av. The more Chochmah Machshava Mucha Stimoa. Let's read again. He says that Sampir, as we said previously, is a Gematria 400, and it's a secret of the four Yudin of the Shem Av, the Muach Chochmah, which comes from the Moach of Chochmah, which is the Chochmah Stimoa, Machshava Mucha Stimoa. So the Chochmah Machshava, that those ideas all go together. ואף על פי ששם במוחס לימור יש גם שם Yud K Vav K. So he says, wait a minute, not just that name is in the Mochas Limah, you also have the name Ma in there. So he says, for Rabbi Yitzchaim, he says the Shar Yud Gimel, okay? Ba'advoy, Chelko Mamish, which Advoy means Goro or Chelko, his portion. The Shal Mochas Limor, but who Shem Av, he says Abba Ba'advoy, that's in one place, I don't know if he means the whole place or the place of the brain, which is called the Mochas Limor. There you see a manifestation of the name Av. He who Moach, because Ab is pure Moach, I guess. Chochmah, Machshava, etc., like that. Called Chochmah who Shem Av. And anytime you're dealing with that, it's a Shem Av. V'chol Moach Chochmah, so Sampir, Hashat B'yam Chochmah. So this is the concept of the fin, which swims through the Yam Chochmah, Atkan. So he says, V'ayin Sham Od, a little bit more there. The Nimsa Bekitzer Sampir Hu Shem Av, that Sampir goes with the name Ad Ba'adboy, that Av, and then it comes in the Adboy, which is in his portion, Chelko Shel Mochas Timor. Now there's a lot of information there, but not necessarily tieable up easily. But they repeat these positions, and so we hope to see it again in a different light. Number Zion says Ray Bibir Amshula Vapihagua. Now the Gra has been talking about the whiteness that's coming off of the head of the company. Gotta go? Okay. Okay, bye. Okay, that was the shear, and we're gonna stop right here.